What's up, guys? Welcome to Daily Dose of Reddit. This is your host, Zach, and today's subreddit is r/ChoosingBeggars.
This story's called Someone Who Walked Out on Their Bill Called the Restaurant the Next Day to ask for their server to be fired in lieu of paying their bill. My coworker, Sarah, name changed, had a walkout last night. All walkouts suck, but this one was very different. The table that walked out included 3 20-something-year-olds, 2 guys and a girl. The girl happened to go to high school with my coworker who was serving them. The two spent a good portion of the night catching up, having a good time, and everything was going smoothly. After ordering $80 worth of food and drinks, the table walked out on their bill. Sarah was pissed. Since we scan IDs at my bar, we permanently flag anyone who has walked out on their tab and banned them from re-entry. Unless, of course, they come back to pay their tab and apologize for their lapse in judgment. The ID saving system is also linked with other bars in the city that use the same brand. So, if someone were to be banned from our bar, all other participating bars would be notified and be able to ban them as well. Sarah figured she'd message this girl on Facebook and let her know she should come back and pay her bill to save her from that major inconvenience, instead of telling her that she was a huge piece of crap, but my coworker kept it cordial. The girl never responded to my friend. The next day, however, the girl who walked out called the restaurant asking to speak to the manager. My manager, a seasoned vet who doesn't take crap from anyone, answered the phone. Every morning he reads over the log from the night before, so he knew everything that went down, including the walkout. However, he wasn't aware that Sarah had messaged this girl on Facebook. The girl proceeded to log a complaint about a server who waited on her the previous night.
Your server Sarah found me on social media and harassed me. It was really unprofessional. I'm super creeped out by it. You shouldn't employ people who stalk their customers and send them threatening and offensive messages.
My manager, somewhat shocked at first, was about to find out more information about this cyber harassment, but remembered that Sarah was the server with the walkout from the night before. I apologize if you felt uncomfortable by one of our server's actions, but harassment sounds unusual for Sarah. She's one of our best servers. What exactly did Sarah say in these messages?
She said that I needed to come in and pay my tab or she would ban me from every bar in the city and I'd never be able to eat out again.
My manager paused. What do you think she meant by pay your tab?
Well, we didn't pay for our tab.
Completely blown away, my manager didn't know how to respond. So, I'm gonna need you to pay for your tab. And here is where this girl went from being a complete idiot to a complete idiot trying to be a delusional choosing beggar.
Well, I am not paying for our tab now. No way. I am not going to give money to a restaurant who employs people who harass customers. I'm honestly so scared and creeped out that I'm gonna call the police. Actually, the only way I won't call the police is if you promise you're going to fire the server.
So, you're not gonna pay a tab that you walked out on?
No. Are you even listening to me? You guys should be paying me for what I went through. You should be lucky that all I'm asking for is this server to be fired, so I won't call the police.
To buy some time to unpack the crazy my manager had just heard, he told this chick that he'd talk it over with his supervisors and he would call her back. Sarah happened to be working that day, so he asked to see the Facebook messages. Sarah sent this girl exactly one message that said,
"Hey, you walked out on your tab with me. You can come in and pay it tomorrow. Just make sure you come in because the ID system will ban you from our place and maybe some other bars if you don't pay."
My manager called this psycho back. Ma'am, I just read the messages Sarah sent you on Facebook. Sarah was trying to help you. We ban people from our bar who walk out on their tabs. So would you like to pay for the $80 plus an added 20% gratuity?
No, Sarah should have never messaged me in the first place. My social media profile is private. I want her fired.
Well, that's not happening, and we'll be banning you and your friends if you don't pay for your bill. The girl was screaming at this point.
I'm calling the police for harassment and piracy. You looked at my private messages. I'm not paying.
My manager laughed in complete shock. Okay, go for it. Tell them we'd love to talk to them too. Enjoy your day. I've got a solution to walkouts, okay? Nanotechnology. So what you do is you spike the patron's dish with nanobots, and if they pay for their meal and everything's good, then the nanobots are deactivated and, they're passed through feces or urine. And if they don't pay the tab, depending on how much is owed, you can get a slight laxative effect from the nanobots or cyanide. This story is called Beggar Wants a Personal Chauffeur, Free Food, and Their Christmas Gifts. So, some context. My best friend, B, just moved into a small house with her boyfriend, Don. They are nowhere near rich, but B has a car and a full-time job teaching at a preschool, and Don is a mechanic. They're getting by. Before moving in with B, Dawn lived with this beggar and her kids. I met them last Thanksgiving and they acted rude and impatient when B, the hostess, wasn't able to drive them back right away because an elderly guest got sick. And one of her little craphead kids would not stop kicking my kitten. Speaking of kids, the beggar is pretty much just raising a bunch of mini beggars, except that one cat kicker. He's just ascending to the ranks of serial killer, I'm pretty sure. As I've mentioned, B is a preschool teacher, and she's responsible for buying and making all the things needed for activities in her classroom. Not an easy feat when you have 20 kids to provide for. A few weeks before Christmas, B and her boyfriend visited the beggar, and she proceeds to invite herself and all of her mini beggars out to go Christmas shopping with them. Because Beggar doesn't have a car, she took this opportunity to make B take her to get groceries, buy cigarettes, and get alcohol, despite not saying anything about gas money, nor caring that all of these destinations were on the opposite side of town to where they wanted to go. After B and Dawn did their shopping, they planned on getting dinner at a chain restaurant they had a gift card for. Beggar again invited herself along, so the bill was about 3 times what B and Dawn could afford, since Beggar and all 3 of her mini beggars ordered full meals and appetizers. When the waitress asks how they want to split the bill, B mentions that she and her boyfriend have a gift card, so they'd like to split, trying to politely say that they aren't paying for the beggar's meals. B gives them the gift card, while Beggar is digging around in her purse because she conveniently lost her credit card and didn't have cash. Dawn, who tolerates her begging ways more than B, offers to get her bill. Beggar says nothing about paying him back. After shopping, they go back to B's house so Dawn and Beggar can smoke because they're into that. She also helps herself to his stuff without asking, while B is left to watch the mini beggars. Dawn and Beggar are smoking in the office because it's well ventilated and B doesn't like the house smelling. B uses the office to store things for her classroom, and at this moment, she had about 20 child-sized painting easels leaning against the desk. A gift from her mother because B doesn't have the money for easels made specifically for classrooms. Apparently, classroom-tailored items like furniture are extremely expensive. Beggar sees these and immediately says how mini beggar number 3 has wanted an easel for Christmas, and maybe she could have one of theirs because Beggar can't afford an easel, what with all her money going towards stuff to smoke, cigarettes, alcohol, and all of the other stuff she needed that day. Dawn tries telling her that they were a Christmas gift meant for B's preschoolers, and she couldn't have one. Beggar kept bringing up how badly Mini Beggar wants his painting easel for Christmas and how she feels bad that she can't get one for her. After they finish smoking, Beggar is still going on about this easel and tries shaming B into giving her one because you don't need 20 easels. B again explains that they're for her preschoolers, and yes, she does need 20 because she has 20 kids, so they can all paint for an activity instead of just a few at a little table. Beggar continues to complain and even gets her mini beggars to go along with it because they all want an easel really, really badly. B finally confronts Beggar to drop the issue as she's the one who drove her begging ass around all day, paid for her and her kids' meals, and now she has the audacity to try to take away one of B's Christmas gifts meant for a preschool classroom. Beggar rounds up her minis and says she wants to leave, and B just shrugs and says that she's tired, call an Uber. She's done chauffeuring her around for free. Beggar does, still complaining about the easels while waiting for the Uber, and has the audacity to ask B for a ride to work the next morning. Okay, so first off, not gonna lie, preschool teacher, one of the hottest professions to have. Second, that's gross. That's gross behavior. But I'm curious as to why they're still, like, part of their lives. Is it because they feel that they owe her for letting Dawn live with them? I'm confused as to the arrangement here and the nature of their relationship and why there's an ongoing relationship with them. This story's called Drunk Choosing Beggar Accuses Hotel Staff of Stealing a Bag of Ice, among other meaningless items. I had the pleasure of being a night auditor at a hotel over the last summer. Hey, same. One glorious night, I came in at 11 to relieve a man on the evening shift who told me the tale of the havoc the woman in room 611 had wreaked on our hotel in the mere 8 hours she had been there. I stupidly assumed I wouldn't have to worry about it too much since it was 11 p.m. and she should have been going to sleep. But alas, I was wrong. This woman was using a friends and family discount for her entire family, herself, her girlfriend, her 4 children, and 2 uncles, to stay in a 1-bedroom suite for $60 for one night. The normal price was more than double. When she got to the room, she discovered the ice maker in the fridge was broken, and my hotel does not have ice machines since they are in the rooms. So since it's broken, we give her a large bag of ice from the kitchen for the night. She is content with this. So she orders a pizza to her room and, without notifying anyone at the desk, goes to the terrace with the entire family just so she can smoke a cigarette. The pizza man goes up. She comes in on the phone several minutes later, telling him that she's in the lobby by the desk. The man comes down and is understandably rude, seeing as how she wasted his time and probably screwed up his delivery times. So she complains to me that she didn't know he'd be there so soon and how can he be so rude. I didn't think much of it, but I sympathized and she left. After the family eats, she calls for someone to grab her trash. I assume she's put it in a bag outside the door like I told her, and I sent security to get it. We don't have housemen and housekeepers overnight. And apparently, all hell breaks loose when security goes up. The woman calls to tell me that security didn't take her trash and got an attitude with her. Then she comes to the desk and asks me for 15 minutes why we don't have housekeepers overnight. I explain that we're a long-term stay hotel and that people don't typically need housekeeping overnight. She then explains that it's not her house, and so why should she have to clean up her own mess? She complains that there's pizza boxes everywhere and that she's not putting anything in a bag for us because that's our job. Basically, this bench wants personal servants to come clean her room at her beck and call. She leaves and soon after calls me again, this time to tell me that she thinks someone stole her ice. Yes, you read that right. She claimed someone must have come into her room when no one was in there and stole a bag of ice. I figure she's out of her freaking mind, but to get her away from me, I tell her I'll have maintenance read the door in the morning and see if an unauthorized entrance did in fact happen. At this point, the security guard is at the desk and using the security phone to type up the information they routinely do. Now, Choosing Beggar is getting mad and getting in the guard's face because she's using the phone when it's not the guard's job to listen to this woman's crap. I do my best to calm her down and she goes back up. She calls again to the desk and starts talking about the ice again. Now she's referring to the man who gave it to her as the gay dude. And after several times, I ask her to stop because it's offensive, and I try to explain that if she says that to the manager tomorrow, she was planning to talk to him, that she'll be removed. She starts screaming into the phone that she'll do whatever she wants and she's gay herself, so it doesn't matter. Then hangs up. She comes down again soon after with a gallon bottle of Bacardi and her receipt now claiming that someone came in and stole 3/4 of the bottle. She tries to tell me she just bought it today and says I can check the camera and the receipt and yada yada yada. She's clearly drunk and obviously drank the damn thing herself, or poured it out into another cup just for this next part. Then comes the magic words. So, what are you gonna do for me? And the switch clicked in my head. Now I'm not gonna give you even a damn dollar off your rate. I wanted to charge her full price at this point, but I offered to call the police for her. I said, "Ma'am, I understand you're upset. What I can do for you right now is call the police and you may file a report if you believe you've been stolen from." And since that's not what she really cared about, she walks away yelling,
She don't care about us.
and yada yada yada. I checked the policies to be sure management would back me up, and since she was on a friend and family discount, I had every right to do the following due to her conduct. I called the room and said, "Ma'am, due to the conduct you've displayed tonight while staying here on a friends and family discount, I am going to ask you to leave. You have 15 minutes to gather your things and your family, or I'll call the police to escort you out." And I hung up before she could talk. She came down screaming about how I could do this, where will they go, saying her son is sick and I'm such a bench and they deserve a free room for all they've endured. I went to the back office, locked the door, called 911, and got to watch her get removed. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell to never miss an episode.